The Pacers upset the Bucks Thursday night to advance to the championship game of the in-season tournament. Tyrese Halliburton carried the load, dropping 27, 15, and 7 en route to a 128-119 W. So if you look at the knockout round for them, they beat the Celtics first. Even though it was without KP, still an impressive victory, 122-112, and then, closed the deal against the Bucks late, and they won both games as underdogs. All right, time to bring in CBS NBA insider Bill Ryder and CBS Sports analyst Tim Doyle. Bill, you're up first. What do you believe the Pacers' ceiling is this season? Is this really a team that can make some noise in the East?
Great question. It's the question of the moment. I'll answer it. I'll also say this. I think we'll have a much better picture of what their ceiling is if they can compete with and beat a Lakers team on Saturday night, where obviously LeBron has given us all to win this thing. But I think the realistic outcome is a top 4 finish in the Eastern Conference. Maybe a surprise run like we saw from the Trailblazers a few years ago, like we saw from the Hawks a couple years ago, where they make a conference finals. We're talking ceiling. Tyrese Halliburton cements himself as a legitimate, consistent, large sample size superstar, and they start to recruit some free agents. They start to recruit some players, and they become a real contender starting next year.
Tim, do you agree with that?
I think it's extremely well said as far as how far they can go. They cannot win a title. All right, let's just get that out in the open right now. You cannot win a championship. Now, this one-game NCAA-style, tournament, in-season tournament, they proved that they could beat anybody. Huge advantage, they had a home court advantage. Another thing is they have 10 guys on their roster making $3 million or less. So $500K means something to these guys out there. I think they win a series. I just have a hard time seeing them win multiple series of 4 games. But in a one-game format, I called their game against the Celtics. The Celtics didn't have Porzingis in that game, and they came out a little flat. But Halliburton takes, like, the ugliest shots in the world. But they go in, like, you're just like, how do they keep going in time and time? So after a while, like, it's not that ugly. It just happens to go in. Guy's been remarkable. And this championship game, Chris, is honestly going to be his Heisman moment. He is not a household name right now. He's not. I'm sorry, everybody in Indianapolis. Go out there, win this tournament, become the MVP. I think he becomes one.
Well, I think he's already should be in the MVP conversation. I know it's extremely early. We're only about a quarter of the way through the season. But, yeah, he is putting himself on the map. Now, speaking of Tyrese, the over-under is 28.5 points. Last 5 games, Tim, he's averaged almost a 30-piece. What does your gut tell you that he's going to do on Saturday night?
Yeah, my gut probably says under, but how boring is that, Bill? Who the hell goes, I want a Halliburton under? What a boring, what a horrible person you are. It's like going to a wedding and then rooting for divorce. We know it's more than likely not going to work, but you don't say that at the chapel. We're all thinking it up there. Heck, I've been best man 8 times. 4 of them, I went, this thing has no shot. Anyway, you got to go over this because the guy is in the zone right now. Yeah. He's got hairs jumping up and down, even though he hasn't eclipsed this number. And the Lakers' defense has been awesome. Booker struggled. Everybody on the Pelicans struggled. The proper play is probably under. But if you bet under, I don't want to drink old fashions with you, Bill.
Oh, my goodness. Tim, yeah. Bill can lay off. He don't need any old fashions right now at this current time in Vegas. But Bill, on a serious note, how much do you think the Pacers' competitiveness versus the Lakers lies with Halliburton putting up a massive night?
I think it does, and Tim hit all the salient points, including the awkwardness. Now you got me beat. I've been the best man 6 times, and 2 of those marriages are over. So, but even the awkwardness of being the best man at a wedding, you hit. And you're right about the Lakers' defense. It's been extraordinary. Halliburton's got to be great. And I think that the challenge that he's going to have, and we just heard this from Tim, this Lakers defense is the best in the NBA after the first 8 regular season games. They kind of got in their rhythm. LeBron James obviously wants to win this thing, has played at a really high level. And he may not be Halliburton, a household name, but he's obviously a known quantity to the Lakers officials, the assistant coaches who are scouting this thing, to those players. They know they got to shut Halliburton down. They know they got to make somebody else, Buddy Hield, beat him. So I do think you have to have a huge game from this guy for the Pacers to have a chance, which I think a big part of the reason the Lakers are favorites, even though it's one game, and are probably the team to look at, because they're going to know, like we all do, Halliburton is the straw that stirs the drink in Indiana.
100%, no question about it. Now, the Pelicans damn sure didn't compete against the Lakers Thursday, losing 133-89 as LeBron James poured in 30 in 22 minutes. Tim, they're 11-4 in their last 15 games. Does this change how you view them in the Western Conference? Because they did get off to a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah, they got off to a slow start. The schedule was pretty rough on them early. I mean, they have played the Suns 3 times already this year, beaten them all 3 times, but are they the biggest roadblock for the Nuggets? You know, I think the upside of Phoenix, Bill, is still like so intriguing because we don't know what we're going to get, right? I mean, Bradley Beal's been out there for like 7 minutes, and Booker and Durant seems like they're always alternating games. I'm really intrigued by OKC. Like that, everything there is just going in one direction. And Chet Holmgren was plus 400 to be rookie of the year before the season. Now he's almost minus 200. So everything is going right for OKC. Those are the 2 teams for me, Bill. Anybody else that stands out for you in the West?
Look, I think the Kings are a cute team and a cute story, but they're not going to make a deep run. And I'm with you. I'm Lakers skeptical. And here's why. The reason they played so well now, the reason that they're in the final tomorrow in Vegas and I get to go see them, and the reason I'm not going to buy on them for the long term, it's been November and now December. Anthony Davis is not necessarily going to be healthy over the course of the whole season. LeBron James, remember when he was going to play fewer minutes this year? That was the plan, keep him under 30. He's playing 34, 35 minutes a game. He's amazing, but he's also 39 in a couple weeks. That's going to catch up to him potentially. So can the Lakers, if they're fully healthy and Anthony Davis plays at a high level and doesn't break himself into 500 pieces like Humpty Dumpty over the next 7 months, can they go far? Sure. I think my skepticism of the Lakers isn't just their roster. The roster's fine. They're playing well. I don't know that LeBron at his age and Anthony Davis at any age are guaranteed to be healthy enough to get you where you want seed-wise in the postseason and then to endure a 2-month postseason at that point and make a run.
Yeah, that's a lot of wear and tear on somebody as old as LeBron, and then we know about AD's history. So if they can get AD to play like the best player every night and not LeBron James, then I think they have more of a shot. But as you guys say, it's a real big if they're going to be healthy in the postseason. Now, Bill, what do you expect in terms of the atmosphere, the buzz, and ratings in Las Vegas? Because what would be exactly a win for the league Saturday night? Are we expecting to see like a whole lot of celebrities pulling up and all that?
Well, look, I talked to an NBA official who hopes that's the case because they are. I mean, Adam Silver's all in on this, right? So that's their boss. So they are selling this thing in a big way. But it's very possible because this is going to be a Lakers home game. We're 4 hours as the crow flies. Do crows even fly that far, guys? From Las Vegas. They call this LA Lakers East at the facility when the guys are hanging out. I mean, Vegas is an LA town. It is a satellite town. It's going to be full of Lakers fans. Yes, there will probably be celebrities there because the Lakers are playing. The vibe's going to be incredible, and that's part of what the Pacers are facing. But I think it's already a win. It was close to full in the early game on Thursday, which I thought was surprising. Tim, you said it. It's like a March Madness game, only it's not March Madness. People showed up. It was a great energy. It was a cool vibe. So I think you're going to see more of that and a more intense version of that with the Lakers in this final because it'll be a weekend. And, yeah, folks are going to show out, and they're going to head here from L.A. Could be a pretty cool night.
And Bill, I think that says a lot going back to, you know, how packed the crowd was for that early game because 5 p.m. Eastern, usually you don't get that. That's 2 p.m. Western Coast time. So for that to happen, that really shows, you know, how locked in people are to this tournament. And we understand, Tim, the entertainment level is going to be immaculate. Since they are playing in Vegas, you got the extra incentive to lay some money on the line. LA's favored by 4. The over-under is set at 240. You would think the over is a wise play here, given how much points these 2 teams can put up, right?
Well, I mean, if you've been betting overs this year on Pacer games, you're cashing tickets at almost a 90% clip. So it's been insane. But the Lakers defense has been incredible. Now, let's really deep dive into the Lakers and who they matched up against, right? Great wing players in Durant and Booker. They don't really have a true point guard, do they? Pelicans, a lot of guys that can fill it up. Mostly wing guys. CJ McCollum's a 2. He's not a 1. They're going up against a true point guard. Some would say right now, best point guard in the NBA. Chris, you said he's getting MVP votes. I totally agree with you. And if one case could say it, he didn't play 1 game against the Celtics. They lost by 51 points to Pacers. I mean, they literally got embarrassed in that game. I bet against them against the Celtics, lost. I bet against them against the Bucks, lost. I'm all in, baby. I'm going money line. I'm going play. It's like eventually you have to go, I'm kind of believing this, and this style of play is so hard to prepare for on a short rest. So they're almost better in the tournament setting than they would be in a long series after all the adjustments and the counters and stuff. So I bet against them. Now I'm going to be on board. We all know what happens when you're a gambler when that happens, but I'm believing the hype. You beat the Bucks with Lillard and a healthy Middleton, and they weren't even that great in that game. I think that the point guard, D'Angelo Russell, whoever's going to, Austin Reeves, they're going to have their hands full.
Oh, no, they could be barbecue chicken by the end of the night. So you're all in on the Pacers. Bill Ryder is all in Vegas doing his thing. Tim, Bill, we appreciate the time. And along with the inaugural NBA Cup, an in-season tournament MVP is going to be named on Saturday. It's a two-horse race. But guess who? LeBron James and Tyrese Halliburton, the clear betting favorites. Halliburton is plus 160 to win the award, the same odds for the Pacers to win the game at minus 160. The price on LeBron is a bit of a discount on the Lakers' money line, which sits right now at minus 190.